Hello everyone and welcome to our session today. And in this session, I'm going to talk about Oxford AQA International GCSE English as a Second Language 9280. In this session, we will focus on writing paper. As we know that the writing paper has 4 tasks. Task 1, a photo card. Task 2, writing a letter or an informal email. Task 3, a blog, you have to write a blog. And task 4, you have to write an article. Let's start focusing on one by one, knowing exactly the best ways that must be followed to write each task. In exercise 1, we are talking about the photo card. And let's explore an example of task 1 and the style of descriptive writing, because when they ask you to write or to describe the photo, it means that you have to follow the descriptive writing. Like you must use a lot of adjectives, you must visualize the photo and try just to be more detailed and more descriptive in your paragraph. Of course, here in this photo card, I could do one thing as a good step to be followed if I want just to describe this photo card. Like I could look at this area, I could describe this area, and I could talk about the skyscrapers here. So focusing on 3 areas in my description would help me a lot to write a good paragraph that includes all the details related to these 3 areas. Okay, together we will have a look at one of the samples and let's see if we can write or describe what can we see in the photograph. Your description should be between 30 and 50 words and 9 marks for this one. So I have to write between 30 to 50 words and of course 9 marks for this task. Let's have a look at the sample that we have and then we will see if we are doing right in this or not. Of course, you have to start with the photo is. So the beginning of my description must be like this. The photo is taken from a high place with a view of tall buildings and a large green park in the middle of a city. Full stop. I can also see water, 2 lakes. I used the dash here, a river, and the sea beyond. Full stop. It's a bright sunny day. Green and white show a pleasant contrast. Okay? So here we can see that you can write 3 compound or complex paragraphs. Of course, you must include adjectives like large, green, where in the middle of a city. Also, I can also use, look, I'm using the linking words, see water, talking about the lakes, the river, and see beyond. And then I describe the day. It's a bright sunny day, green and white show a pleasant contrast. Of course, here if I want to focus on, and instead of writing and, I could say here it's taken from a high place with a view. So when I describe the photo card, and I will go to the photo card there, it's all about here. It's all about talking about this white to show the contrast, and then I talked about the water that I have. See here, I have a river and 2 lakes. And then I talked about that. It's obvious that the photo is taken from a high place. And also, if I want, I could talk about the greenery here. Also, I could talk about the skyscrapers here. Also, I could talk about the weather. It's a sunny day. or I could talk about the atmosphere and the positive vibes. It's up to you in choosing what are the areas that you want to talk about. But the most important thing that your sentences mustn't be simple. You must use compound or complex sentences to avoid the simple sentences, okay? So also, if I want to use adjectives, I have to use the colors, the size, the age, all these things that would be shown in my description. Okay, so what is the exam tip? You don't need to cover everything, as I told you, that is in the photo. Students have been very successful in task 1 by focusing on a couple of main aspects and then developing them with a clear descriptive details, because they are asking you to describe, so your paragraph must be descriptive or must include descriptive details. Examiner input. After checking many pieces of writing for different candidates, we can say that each of the tasks suggests the number of words you should stay within. Like when they ask you to write within 30 to 50, so you have to write 30 to 50 words. When they ask you to write 70 words, you have to write 70 words. So it's very important to abide by the word count. You will not be penalized or lose marks if you go over or slightly under the word count, like a plus minus 10, that would be fine, and you won't be penalized. However, when students write more than they need to, we know that it can result in unnecessary mistakes. Unnecessary mistakes which the examiner will look at. The examiner will read all of your writing and take into account all that you have written. Therefore, we recommend strongly you stay under the top limit, like 30 to 50, so be under the 50 or exact 50. For task 1, the top limit is 50 words. Be assured that you can gain full marks on each of the tasks by staying well inside the given words count. Of course, to avoid the common or a lot of mistakes that you might commit when you exceed the word limit. Okay. So, what is the revision tip? As a student, what are the things that I have to focus on to guarantee full mark in task 1? You have to use the common senses section. And when I talk about the common senses, like I'm talking about the 5 senses. Like here, the sight, and let me choose, okay, sight, smell, touch, taste, and of course here. And I want to add also, I want you just to talk about your feelings, because talking about your feelings would be very beneficial in this. It's very important to work hard or to prepare yourself before starting practicing the photo card, like by searching in the internet for photographs of landscapes and city scenes, search for activities, sport, shopping, traveling, all these themes. I'm talking about theme 1, theme 2, and theme 3 in the writing or in Oxford examination. When I'm focusing on these three themes and being exposed to different vocabulary related to these three themes, make sure that you can get an excellent mark in the first exercise or the first task, which is the photo card. Look for photos that have something in the center, as we mentioned before, like, or something that catches your eye in the front. Like, once I looked at that photo, what is the first thing that caught my eyes, as well as views behind and beyond. So it's not just about the photo cards, it's also about behind and beyond. Then practice writing 30 to 50 words describing what you see. And as I told you, it's all about descriptive writing from both aspects: front, center, distance, behind. I think when you look at these two aspects, like when I talk about front, center, and then distance behind, that would help you a lot to write an excellent description. There is no need to rush. Think about only what you see and what you or what is factual, and don't add descriptions of what is not actually there. Once you have written about 10 of these types of descriptions, you will find yourself that you should be ready and be prepared. So preparation is the key here in the writing paper, because when I'm exposed to different photo cards, I will know exactly how can I describe them easily.